Can't you go, hey, I'm f***ing hungry, I want to get some food.
Yeah, that works when you're Ozzy.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, what are you talking about? What a dumbass. That's crazy.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
So Ozzy Osbourne has a podcast, apparently. Everybody has a podcast. That's why I didn't want to just do a podcast. I wanted to be on the radio, so I'm a little bit different. But Ozzy Osbourne has a podcast. And in this latest podcast, you know, they talked about, there's been some hubbub about unionization in reality TV. And people, when you hear that, you kind of think some people may think it sounds silly because reality TV is just so, it's literally just a caricature of the most insane type of people that you can imagine. And so folks think about that and they're like, well, why would they need a union? They're just being crazy. They're just being themselves and they're getting a lot of money for it. So like, what's the deal there? And so I wanted to play you this clip before we played the Ozzy Osbourne clip, just to remind you of some of the stuff that people who do reality TV, especially people who are not already famous, but just normal people or like semi-normal people, because, you know, if you do reality TV, you're probably definitionally not a normal person. But for folks who are kind of semi-normal and do reality TV, it is not all glitz and glam and glittering and gold. There's a lot of real exploitation and issues there. So let's play this clip from More Perfect Union.
They are in control of every element of your life. You're put in a hotel room and you don't have a key. You don't have access to water unless you want to drink it out of the faucet or the shower. We're all just sitting there, not being fed on any kind of regular cadence. But definitely being fed a lot of alcohol. My body was just exhausted and dehydrated and hungry.
There's 3 blueberries. Eat them sparingly.
I lost 15 pounds in 3 weeks from the pods in Mexico. And looking at my suit, I had that thing tailored like the week before coming. And
like a perfect fit, right?
Like a perfect fit, yeah.
No, it's like your first suit out of undergrad, right? You just go to Macy's and pick
up whatever's on sale.
We didn't have any autonomy at all. Not only did they take our phones, they took our wallets, they took our IDs, they took our passports, all in the same instance, without telling us ahead of time this was going to happen.
And we were filming 18 to 20 hours a day. The only time we weren't being filmed was when the union crews swapped out for a new crew because they had met their maximum for the day.
You never see daylight unless you're allowed to use the bathroom, which is a trailer outside. They keep you in the state where you really have no idea how much time has transpired. It's one of those things where, looking back on it, if someone told me it was a month, I might have believed them.
There you go. Those are some very serious stuff that they're having to go through. There's some more in that video. You can find it. More Perfect Union. You look that up. More Perfect Union. Love is Blind. They're doing some good reporting on that. But as you can see, there's a lot of the kind of wild behavior for some of these series that kind of profile normal people, quote unquote. Some of that behavior is manufactured, and not manufactured as in there's kind of a rough script and they encourage people to kind of act silly. It's manufactured as in they give starving people booze and don't let them leave. Like it's, seriously, abusive kind of stuff here. And so there's a real need for protection from some of the worst excesses of the reality TV industry. And so Ozzy Osbourne was asked about this, and let's listen to his response.
With that being said, do you believe that they should start unionizing reality TV?
Keep the fucking unions out.
I do love you.
Okay, so you want to pause it there, Adam, and give me some of your first thoughts?
When you get unions involved, you got all these stipulations and you that stuff.
And I kind of like some of those stipulations. Like,
go ahead.
So his first reaction is to keep him out.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really sad. Big Black Sabbath fan. Ozzy is a legend. You know, it's sad. It's sad when folks just, I don't know. I mean, his whole career, right, he's had to rely on other folks. Union crews in many cases, right?
Yeah.
IATSE has probably worked many of his performances.
Yep.
And so, yeah, that's really sad. And, you know, oh, well, the rules, those onerous rules like feeding people, you know, giving people breaks. Very, very disappointing from Mr. Osbourne. I mean, to his credit, I don't know how all there he is these days.
That's true. There was a point earlier in the podcast where somebody literally asked him a question like 3 times before he understood what was going on. So yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I wonder if there's any interview footage of him from 50 years ago where someone was asking him what he thought about unions.
Well,
then.
see, maybe if Ozzy was part of a union, they could do elder abuse protections.
Maybe.
Just throwing it out there.
All right, let's continue.
All these stipulations and that stuff.
And I kind of like some of those stipulations. Like,
Go ahead.
Cut to like some days when we're doing reality, Jack and I, we've been on set for like 17, 19 hours. And you're absolutely exhausted. You haven't eaten. There hasn't been a break. And they're allowed to film that way because there is no union and no rules. And Jack, you were saying before that you don't get a pension.
Can't you go, hey, I'm fucking hungry. I want to get some food.
Okay, yeah. So pause it there.
Yeah, that works when you're Ozzy.
Yeah,
Osbourne.
right. Exactly. What are you talking about? What a dumbass. That's crazy.
Yes, as a rock star that everyone knows, like everyone in America, regardless of what kind of music you listen to, you know about Ozzy Osbourne. And yeah, if he comes up to someone and says, "I'm fucking hungry, I need some food," they're probably going to give him some food.
Yeah,
if the guy making $12 an hour says that.
What do you mean? You're on a reality TV show and you just say, "I'm hungry," and they get you food. What do you mean? Why are you so worked out? Why's your knickers in a twist?
Tired. I want to go to bed.
No.
Oh, you want to try doing The Apprentice then?
Well, they got
that was cruel.
Yeah, but
really
but
cruel.
wouldn't a union would have stopped that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that.
But there's a point. You've got to have someone on there that says, "I think it's time enough." That's about it.
Okay, so and now here's another one. Oh, you just have to have a good boss. That's all you need is a good boss who says it's time enough. It's all yes, there's enough exploitation of the workers.
Jesus.
You got to pay dues and fucking.
What's her name? The one who came out with Skinny Margarita, who was on Real Housewives.
Oh yeah, you have to pay dues.
Oh yeah.
God forbid you pay dues. On average, union workers make $191 more per week. Now, I don't know what the average union dues are per week, but it's a hell of a lot less than $191.
Yeah, mine are $10 a week if you want to break it down that way.
Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
Bethany, I love her.
So she's like a few times I've seen in the press over the last year since all the strikes. She was like, "We're going to unionize non-scripted."
Yeah.
And I think I could see a benefit to it ultimately, but I could also see it now creating less work in non-scripted. It's already drying up. Like there's the amount of stuff that's in production this year versus last year. It's insane. There's like nothing being made right now. And if there were to be a whole bunch of union rules and fees and extra costs, like the cost in which networks are paying for things now, it's going down. It's way down. So it's just going to ultimately, the product will suffer.
Fizzle.
It's just 20 years too late.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
But the thing is, look, okay, you look at production companies now going out of LA to make shows. That's becoming more and more because of the union for the crew.
I've shot so much this year in Ireland, Atlanta, everywhere but here.
They don't want to keep up, even for your crew.
Yeah.
So, again, who's the bad guy here? Right? Is it the union that is demanding that there be fair rules, that there be regular breaks, that there be, reliable schedules? All reasonable ask of any employee, right? And even they, as celebrities who make their living doing silly stuff, I mean, they're talking about some of these real issues, right? On the set for 17, 19 hours at a time. That's unreasonable for any person.
Right.
And, you know, again, to their point, like, if there is less reality TV being made, I don't think it's fair to assume it's because there's more union interference.
Right.
I think.
Well,
that's
I mean,
quite
there's
a
not
stretch.
right now. There's zero union interference in reality TV right now, other than the people who are the crews. But that's been the same forever. And so
So IATSE's been around over 100 years.
Yeah.
Now.
So pointing to the decline of reality TV production in the last year, and then saying, and therefore we shouldn't. I mean, that's just absurd. That's just absurd.
Yeah, I mean, you could cut cost in any industry by cutting labor standards. That's possible. But that's not what we want as regular everyday people.
Right.
And without your crew, you're fucked.
100%.
But yet they will still do it because it saves.
Yeah.
And like they go to Eastern European countries to film and all of that.
Do you know now there's some productions which have their edit bays in other countries, like they have them in Southeast Asia and Australia, because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
You know, the cost of a good editor in Thailand is far cheaper than a good editor in LA.
Well,
yeah, I mean, I think that's the clip.
And I think that's
exactly the argument that people make against auto workers unionizing.
Right. And the answer is still the same, right? If you don't organize collectively, you don't have any chance of responding to any of these trends. Right? Whether it's outsourcing labor or outsourcing the production of, you know, whatever the situation may be, some of these are real trends that impact real workers. But without a collective organization and a voice, what are you going to do about it, right? And I think there are some people who really just do believe that you should just be at the whims of your betters.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality, and that's just all we can do is just be at people's whims and hope that they're nice to us.
Yeah.
You know, to bring back Ozzy's point, you know, maybe just get a better boss.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just not realistic for most people. It's really disappointing. But I mean, Ozzy has been a rock star since, you know, the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Black Sabbath came out in the late 60s. I mean, he has been a big time guy for over 50 years. I'm sure his life and his life experiences is a little bit different than the average crew member.
Yeah.
Right? The IATSE member.
Or even the average reality TV star.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 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 I mean, so the average crew member or even the average entertainer on reality show programs, very, very different that they're coming into this. And so, you know, it's always disappointing when artists that you appreciate and enjoy say stupid stuff. But, you know, again, I listened to Ozzy's music he made 45, 50 years ago.
Right.
Not his opinions in 2024, thank God.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.